Alrighty guys, how's it going today? So, this here, you just saw me cut that little bit of grass, and it works for cutting grass. See all the grass around the old Ford there, and in behind that steel, along the fence line, all around the equipment out that way. I cut all that grass with this thing, and it works pretty good. It doesn't cut it super short, and it is a rough cut, so it's not a finishing mower by any means. So what we've got here is MS attachments, or more known as mid-state attachments. And I thought they were Ohio, but I double-checked, and on the website that I got, it is North Carolina. That's where this thing is built. It's all American made. It is got an Omni gear / pump system, and that's made in Texas. It's got an oil flow bypass, so when you hit your auxiliary hydraulic flow, when you go to shut it off, if you don't idle down, so you don't fuck your pump up or fuck your gearbox up from it wanting to stop now because you've stopped the flow of oil. It has this oil bypass in it, so you can shut your hydraulics off and the oil will just sit there and circulate inside of itself. 72-inch deck. It is about 3/16 plate on the deck, and then another 3/8 reinforcing plate for where the pump and gearbox system is. In this case, the pump is mounted direct to the gearbox. There's no shaft or nothing like that. It's like one piece. If you can see that in there, I'm not taking the cover off at this point. I have not used it to cut any brush yet. It's rated for as low as 12 gallons per minute oil flow, and as high as, I think it said 24. So 12 to 24 on our particular machine standard flow. It's 18 gallons per minute on standard flow with this particular machine. So yeah, right here where the push bar is, it's reinforced with 1/2-inch plate on top. The blades are 18 inches, and there's 3 of them, and they are hooked up to a 5/8 AR plate, extra hardened. It's got a collar where the nut is, so you can remove your plate, but the collar is there to protect that nut. And when you want to pull your blades, if I can turn this thing, here we go. So the blades just stick out there by about 2 inches past the edge of your front deck here. When you want to change your blades, loosen this nut here, loosen this nut here. This inspection plate folds back. There's a hole there that you drop your socket down through, and then you can change your blades out. So it's a 3-blade system, and I believe they're 18-inch blades. If I didn't say it before, I said it now. Something after using it a little bit that I don't really care for is this right here. This little 1/4-inch flat bar that they put on the bottom edge here, and it's only like 1 1/4 inches, maybe 1.5 inches wide. I think that could have been improved on myself. also think it should come back a little bit farther on the backside and have it tilted up a little bit to have a little bit of a ski on the backside. That way when you're backing up, I know they say tilt it down when you're backing up, but just so that that's not digging in the fucking ground. This machine is rated for 3-inch trees, 3-inch diameter trees. And the guy that I got it from, Casson Equipment, here in Saskatchewan, up at Leask, he said he's done 4, and if you go really slow and just let her chew away a little bit, you can get away with 5. This particular machine is called a Wildcat Extreme. So, enough of my bullshit, of me talking. Let's get it out in the field. I don't know how much I'm gonna cut here today, but let's get it out in the bush and test it out, see how it does, and we'll go from there. I'll bring you guys back when I'm out there. That's a big stump, guys. That's a rock, I think. Nope. Just to give you an idea, the trees are about 4 feet tall. And we're just driving into them. And she's just whipping them to nothing. She's eating them right up. I just shut it off. So let's go. Let's go to an area that we were working in before with one of those other machines. Especially that little Bobcat machine, because I did the most work with him because I had him the longest. And let's just put this thing to test right beside stuff that it was cutting at. Talk to you in a little bit. Alrighty guys, so this is an area that we went through here with the Bobcat. Like, each pass was like 3 times, and it still wouldn't get all of the sticks, chop them up or cut them down. It's leaving some standing, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. Like, you see all those sticks that are still standing, those trees that are still standing. So in my Bobcat, up here I've got variable flow and I got max flow. So we're gonna run it just on variable flow. And I don't know exactly what variable flow means, but I just kicked her on. Revving her up. There we go. Now let's see what this is going to do in here. Lift it up, and we're going to back straight up over the path that we were on just to see what it did. There. It definitely chewed up those sticks that are sticking up in the ground, right? So now let's hit this spot over here and see what that does. Fuck it, let's just go right into the trees. Look at the pass that did. And I didn't even back up with it down. I lifted it up. Let's spin around. See those trees that were standing? They're gone. Here's a bigger tree over here. It took him and just destroyed him. That tree, gone. When I back up, tilt it down slightly and back up, then she really shaves the ground down nicely and spreads the stuff out better. It doesn't leave it in a swath. So, see this tree right here? He's about 4.5 inches. It's dead, mind you, but it's about 4.5 inches with some clusters around it. Let's see what happens. Gone. anyways, I don't know what you think, but so far, I'm pretty impressed. They cut that freaking tree off at the ground level. And another one. Now this is an area the bobcat was really failing in. When you got buckbrush, willow, poplar, everything all mixed together. And they do say when you go for trees like this, you should lift it up and work your way into it. But I'm trying to compare this machine to the bobcat machine, and this is what I did before. I'd say he cut it up pretty goddamn good. It's actually chewed up pretty nice. Anyway, I'm gonna keep playing out here. I'll bring you guys back after. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna do one more pass along here on this buckbrush and tree and grass. I don't know how well you can see all this. I'm pretty happy with it. Basically, as fast as my bobcat will drive is how fast we can chop buckbrush down with small saplings, like 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall type of stuff. You get into them, excuse me, 6, 7, 8 foot tall guys, and they got a stump on them about 1.5 or 2 inches. Well, then you definitely got to slow down, maybe back up, take a grab, back up, let it empty out, then grab another jag, so to speak. But the way I look at this machine, it is basically same machine as the quick attach, only this one's a little better because that quick attach that we had, it was only a 2 blade and this is a 3. Sorry, the sun's not helping us any here. I'll bring you guys back after. Alrighty guys, well, what can I say? You've seen it in action. I hope that video turned out okay. Like the gearbox, I just parked it here and shut her down. And oh, she's warm. Don't get me wrong, but it's been running for 2-3 hours, so. And if you're wondering why that's oily, is when I went to hook up to this thing, there was enough pressure on the line that I couldn't plug the hoses in, and the easiest way, crack a line, release the pressure, right? But it is warm, but it was running for, I don't know, we're pushing 7 o'clock here, 6:30. So it was running for about 3.5-4 hours straight at full bore, basically. And we were hacking anything from buckbrush, which is nothing. It's smaller than my pinky finger for a stem, to friggin', well, some of those stumps, that one stump was a good 6 inches across that we sheared off. And trees that were anywhere from 3 to 4 inches at the base, I was just blowing through them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. She outperformed the quick attach unit and by far way outperformed the Bobcat unit. So if you guys are looking for a brush cutter at a reasonable cost, and if you've got anywhere between 12 to 24 gallons per minute flow, I would say you should have at least, to run it really good, 16 to 18 gallons per minute would run it really good, I think. My personal opinion anyway. But yeah, you can't beat the price on this machine as far as I'm concerned. My cost up here in Canada was $6,500 plus taxes. And when we bought it, CP and I bought 3 extra blades, and they're $100 a blade. So, but that's Canadian dollars. US side, you're probably looking around 42 or 4,300, something like that. So yeah, that's the machine. I can see where I'm going to be changing or adding to this skid bar underneath, and I'll extend it on the backside a little bit and tilt it up on the backside. That way when you're backing up, if you just have it level like this, it doesn't dig in on the back end. So, but anyway, I'm going to let you go. Get a hold of Mid-State Attachments. You can Google them. I believe, like I said earlier, it's North Carolina. They've got the 72-inch machine, and they've got an 80-inch machine too. So I think the 80-inch does require like 24 plus gallons per minute, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I'll try to get Mid-State's phone number in the description, and I'll try to get, there it is, casting equipment for all my Sask boys at Least, Saskatchewan. Here you go, right here. And you don't have to be in Saskatchewan, because he ships into Manitoba and BC also. So he'll ship it to you. So yeah, get a hold of Murray Casson. That's his last name. You get a hold of Murray, and yeah, you get this machine. The hoses are all plumbed, the whole 9 yards. The gearbox is all full of oil, ready to rock and roll. You don't have to add oil or nothing. Anyway, there you go. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch y'all later.